friends. Hello, world. Welcome to the Artist Within podcast. I am your host, Adela Hittel. This is season 1, The Road to Resilience, and it is produced and hosted by Think a New Way to Think Project Human. If you guys can hear my dogs whimpering in the background right now, their attention is on something, but I'm not stopping because, well, I have things to do today. It's spa day. It's my mental health day. And I'm really, really excited because I have had to push this off for the last 2-3 weeks. Normally I'm scheduled like on the dot where I need to be with what I need to be. I also need to clean my glasses because I've just realized I can't see. And because I need that. A couple of things I want to talk to you about today is, well, your mental health as always. I wanted to talk about the organization a little bit, and then I wanted to also talk to you about Veterans Day. I think I'll start off with that, and then we'll kind of go into shifting into a lot of the other things that I want to talk about because it's important. And Veterans Day was yesterday, so happy Veterans Day to all the veterans and every human who's ever supported us, who's ever been here, have been there, and will continue to be there to give us... there we go. To give us the safety, security that we need, and prosperity that we need here in the United States. And so as a being and as someone who has had the opportunity to be blessed by those who have decided to sacrifice for her, I am very honored and very thankful. And I also have family in the military and retired as well. And so thank you guys for serving. Thank you to all my friends. Thank you for just continuing to, again, keep me safe, keep my family safe, and keep our country safe. So I will get into that in just a minute and kind of, because I want to talk to you about that. I think it's important to know a little bit about the history and where you can find it. And just to understand a bit more. I think we as a community, as a United Nations, could use a little bit more of a reminder of all the reasons why we have fought for what we have fought, why we are where we are. And whether you agree with it or not, you don't have to. You really don't. You do not have to agree with anything I say today. You do not. You can literally be like, you are full of shit, Adela. Like, you have no idea what you're talking about. And to you, you're right. I have no idea what I'm talking about. But then on vice versa, it's the same way to you. You have no idea what I'm talking about then in that respect, because you didn't live my life. You didn't live through what I've lived through. You didn't see the sacrifices that humans have made for me specifically in person, in real time, to ensure that I'm alive here today and that I have the opportunity to speak to you, to create, to do all of these things with you. So again, however you may feel about any of our political spectrum, I'm not into politics, even though I'm learning about it, and I'm learning that everything is intertwined one way or another. Those are personal choices and decisions that we all make on there, and those are conversations that we should all be able to have as civil human beings. And I think that it's really important for us to educate ourselves, all of us. This isn't about any side or anything. It's just every being should educate themselves, especially here in the United States, of why we fight. And the only way to educate yourselves is through conversation, through meaningful conversation. And that's something that I think we are going to be seeing, hopefully, a lot more of in the coming future. In the coming future. And especially for our children, because how do we want to continue fighting and solving problems? Do we want to continue sending our human beings to fight? And do we want to continue asking human beings to fight on behalf of our own selves because we can't handle problems, because we are too good for conversation, right? We're too uncomfortable for conversation. And to me, that is just important to understand so that we can change the way we move. We redefine the narrative. You are the artist. You are the creator of your life. You are the creator of the way everything goes. And so if you're not creating your way that is meaningful for you, that is impactful for you, that makes changes for you, that is inspiring for you, if it's negative, life is not negative. We create the negativity in it. Life is just life. It exists. Just like you, the being, exists. And then you create everything else outside of it. You are born. You exist. That is it. That is literally the truth of this life, of this reality. You are born. You exist. This life exists. It is born. We are here. Everything else, we, on an individual basis and as a collective, create. And the rest of the consequences and whatever the upfall, downfall, whatever might come out, outcome of it is our responsibility, period. And no matter how big or small. And the fact that we continue to avoid that responsibility and avoid that accountability of the actions that we take on a daily basis, and yet we have the audacity to tell people how to live their life and what to do on their daily basis is just mind-blowing to me. So anyway, a little tangent off track. I didn't mean to do that, but I guess I did. I needed it. So what's been going on? Let's get into talking about Project Human just a little bit. I would love for you guys to, let's go into the website right now and see where we're at, because I want to, here we go. So let's get you guys onto the website. Let's get you to sign up and join our community. We have a huge undertaking that I want to initiate this next year, 2025. It is for 2026. It is for a big event that I want to do. I want to produce in the city. I want to create a way for Jacksonville to recognize the space that it has already and that it holds already for humans and for our mental health conversation, for the arts, and for everything that we are as a community. One of the things that I've noticed is that we're so separated in so many different ways, and the information doesn't come to us as quickly. And we do have events, and we have so many resources. And when I say so many resources here, we really genuinely have so many resources. But when I talk to human beings, just everyday Joes like myself, it is very difficult for me to tell them and be like, hey, you have this resource, this is happening. And they go, what do you mean? When has this been here? How come I've not heard about it? How come this? How come that? And so the fact that we are lacking ourselves as organizations, right? We're lacking in funding, we're lacking in staff, we're lacking in ways to get our message across, get our resources out there to people. They're also lacking in receiving the information. So the idea for us is to hold a 3-day mental health summit, and it is going to provide the information, education that's necessary and required for the human being to be able to sustain themselves and win and move forward, right? To really, really learn about themselves and who they are. And then our third one is the day of celebration. It is our gala night. It is our fundraising night. It is the idea of coming together and creating a masterpiece, producing an event, producing a story that's redefined with a community, not just a story that's been told over and over again. So everything has pretty much been set into place on our back end as far as what we need, what we're going to be structuring, where we're going to be. And phase 1 kicks off in January of 2025. So it would be so fantastic and awesome if you will do me the honors, get on our website right here at the on Project Human. If you go to thinking.org, PHINC-ing.org, thinking.org, and sign up. Join our Fin community. It's free, obviously. You'll get our newsletter. I don't send as many newsletters as you would think because, well, again, one of the things that we lack is the full staff to be able to bombard you with the amount of greatness that we have and possess. So we're going to do it this way, and you'll be hearing from me as the time goes on. But if you join the community, you'll get information from me. You'll also receive, when you sign up right here, you'll also receive a free download, a little bit of roadmap to functionality. And it was a PDF that I created a little while ago that helped me understand and navigate when I felt stuck. Where am I at, right? Am I in my need? Am I in my requirement? Or am I in my want? And depending on the stage of where I'm at and the level of where I'm at will depend on the actions and the decisions that I need to make. And so I have to really be honest with myself, reflect upon that, state where I'm at clearly, and then move forward. And so that's what Project Human teaches. We teach you how to recognize your being for what it is. Recognize where you are and be able to shift your perspective into action that is required for you and what you need. Please understand, this is not about how to teach you to be a selfless, independent human being and like independent woman, independent man. No, this is how to be an accountable, responsible human for your actions, your decisions, your consequences, which inevitably have an effect on society, right? No, you may not think that you are worth it. You may not think that you have an impact. You may not believe that. But the honest truth is the complete opposite. Like, you are absolutely an impact in this world, good or bad. You are an impact. You are, because you exist, the consequences you will impact, period. And that's so powerful. That's so amazing. So I want you to understand that. So join our community, get on. We would love to have you. You'll just sign on right here. I don't need, your firstborn or your blood type or anything. Just your name and email will be perfect. And then we'll go from there. And then we'll invite you to our January call for volunteers, because in January we are going to be doing a massive volunteer call. So that, and if you don't want to sign up, you can just click the close button right there and then, get onto our website. But we'll be putting our information on here. Here's a little information that we're going to be putting onto the website. We'll have a page here that'll right on the top, right up here, that will say, hey, we've got our mental health summit coming up. Here's the information you need. Sign up, join our groups, join the conversation, get on board. We have an opportunity as a community, specifically in Jacksonville, right? But this is also for sponsors, for people who want to come in and be a part of something big. We have an opportunity to unite as a people, as a one, to ensure that we educate, we inform, okay? And then we celebrate each other. We have an opportunity to create something so epic, so powerful, so impactful, so moving. It all requires is just a little bit of work, only a little 2 years of work and a little bit of grinding and a little bit of crying and a little bit of hustling, a little bustling. It's okay. I promise. It's okay. Because the end result will be so worth it. It will be so worth it. So I want you to join me on that. I really, really want you to join me on that. It's something I've been working on for a couple of years now. The idea came to me, I want to say years and years ago, like 6-7 years ago, as a window theory about cleaning windows, doing things. And now it's turned into this mental health summit and the idea of cleansing the self through education, through information, the idea of building itself through creation and celebration. And so join me. I can't wait to have you on board. So go onto our website, sign up, go listen to the podcast right now, right, that we're talking about. Go listen to it. I appreciate you. Which, speaking of, you guys have given us the opportunity to reach almost 300 downloads on my first season. I honestly didn't expect 10 to be honest. Well, okay, I expected 10. I know 10 people who would actually listen to me, maybe, and download me, right? But to see the reoccurrence, to see us across the aisles, across the oceans, to be in our United States, to be across the United States, really be impacting human beings, I'm so honored. I'm so honored that you want to listen. I'm so honored that you find value and that you see us as a platform and as a resource in which you can gain insight, find your light, and share with your own self and others the impact that Project Human has, not only on you, but on everyone else. Project Human, again, is the idea that the human being is the ultimate goal. I mean, if you look at everything that's going on around the world, right? Everybody targets a person in marketing and in fundraising and in anything, in anywhere you're going. And all of my small business owners and business owners will understand this. They're always asking you, who's your target audience? Who's your one person you're targeting? Give me that. Are they between this age? Are they this? Are they that? Are they that? They're trying to get to the smallest minuscule thing about a human being that they don't even know. And then clumping everybody into this general thing, which again, I get it. It makes the money, they get the eyes, it's the eyeballs, it's that. But the idea for us is not that. The idea is that every individual being that we're reaching, that we're talking to, is its own full influential, full 100%, that's our target. It's the full human. It's not a piece of him. It's not in a price range. It's not at a age range. It's not at a color range. It's not at a intellect range. It's none of the demographics that we're looking for. It's not in that range. It is a human being. And how do you describe a human being? As an existing being. A human being as an existing being. And to me, it's just in physical form. It's just so powerful. So I can't, so we go not necessarily against the grain, but we go against the grain for that. So we want to invite you to join our Against the Grain, Fight the fight all the little labels and separators and dividers that we have and unite together as a one. We did a project called Suicide Awareness Prevention, and so this was my, you can watch all of these on here. We have on here as well, you can watch our club challenge interactions that we've had and workshops that we do. This is one of our Dexter style paintings, and we come in and we put together this whole field for you so that you get to really experience what it means to work on your individual self and create yourself. And you may not think you're an artist. Believe me, the amount of times I get, I'm not an artist, I don't know what to do. It doesn't matter. It has no matter of that. That is a misinformed narrative of yourself that you have that was passed down by someone or something, or a thought or an idea of someone else, that it wasn't you. So go check it out. I think this is one of my favorite things to do in what I do, is to get together and put this together. It genuinely brings me so much joy. So please take a look at it and see and watch them. It was a really cool experience. I had the best time working with this group of humans. I really genuinely did. It was the most awesome process of me. And this is how I heal. This is literally how I heal. So it makes me so happy. So watch that. I think it's cool. And then catch up on my interviews from the Daily News Network, with Client Focused Media, where they help and give organizations like myself an opportunity to come in and chat, about what we're doing, about our mission. So I've had the opportunity, privilege to go on there, share my mission in the last couple of years over time, and really grow into my narrative. What's been fantastic is that I've used the platform as my way of understanding what it is that I'm saying, how I'm saying it, why I'm saying it, ensuring that my message is as consistent as possible and as strong as possible and as structured as possible. And you can see the growth in it, which is what I love about this whole process, is that you genuinely get to see my own growth through all of this Project Human Creation. It's not just, oh, Adela's doing this and she's here now. Like, this has been 7-8 years now in the making of trying to understand what I want the organization to be, gaining the confidence, really gaining the confidence to speak my narrative, becoming a leader that I've wanted to becoming a strong and confident voice in my own self and in my community, becoming a trusted voice in my community. Whether or not you like me, that's a whole different story. But at least you can't say that I am not there when I'm asked, or that I don't deliver when I want to deliver, when I need to deliver, when we come together to deliver, or that I'm not capable, or that I'm not going to follow through, which I wasn't before. I get it. There's plenty of you guys that will know, Adela, that is not the you we know, which is true. It is not the me you know, but the me you know has grown. The me you knew versus the me you know. This me has grown so much versus that me. And that me is, I can see that me, the pain. I can see it in my eyes. I can literally feel it in my eyes. There's a difference in how I completely exist, in the confidence and the exuberance that I possess. And so it's really cool to see myself in that perspective, to see the growth. So go check it out. I think you'll find enjoying it and enjoy it as well. And then you'll also see our what are they called? Our project, our checkmate, Whoa, we did not mean to do that. That was too much. You'll see our checkmate project. That was what I meant to say right up here. You'll see that. Please check that out, because that is a project that was really inspiring for me to do as a community, especially during the COVID times and when we were told not to, we couldn't do anything, that we did it. And then this is where it all started, you guys. You get to see a little documentary. And then from that documentary, we have a documentary that is in the making right now called Define the Narrative. And it is this journey of myself. It is literally the journey of myself and trying to navigate this whole idea of what it means to exist and be here and human, and bridge my own gap between my own mind and my own body and my own soul, and recognize that my physical form here is a vessel. It carries this voice, it carries this message, it carries the essence, it carries the spirit, it carries the strength. But who I am and where I go past the physical form, that is the part where is the all unknown, but I know it exists, and where it makes me understand that none of this matters, but everything matters, and that no matter what you do, it's so insignificant, yet it is the most significant thing you could ever do because you exist in your time and space. So of course, it's the most significant thing for you. But then on the grand scheme of things, nope, not at all. Except for that one blimp of you contributed by existing. For literally just by existing. And so it goes back into that. And when I look back onto this particular project that we did, and it literally started out as hey Adela, I have a school project. A dear friend of mine, Will Cook, who's in LA right now. He's working his butt off with Ashley Below and AJ Medina, all the humans who've actually kind of helped me really grow into the human I am today, just by, I always say, indulging my crazy antics. But they saw something that I didn't even necessarily fully have the confidence in to voice the way, but there was a part of me which I see even now that I had no control over, and I had to create. So I want you to definitely take a look at that. As you can see, look at the difference. Look at this. It's insane. The difference between that being and this being. The difference in conversation. Mannerism still pretty much there. The face can't be fixed. The face and the facial expressions are all the same. However, the essence is different. And the joy is different. But my belief is still the same. My ambition, my hope, my dreams, everything is still the same. And so take a look at it, because I think it would be a good little moment for you to do. And then you can go down here on our website again and download our submit and sign up again, and start your journey right now on how you can start healing your process. And like I talked about, that roadmap to functionality, it's just looking at where your need is. Are you in your need of survival or in your need of want? Or are you in your, and if you're in need of survival, then figure that out. How do you get out of survival? And then if you're in need of, need of living, not want, living, then figure out how you're going to get to your want. Living is the state I'm in right now, and what requires me to get to my want is extreme discipline, extreme transparency, extreme commitment, extreme durability and resilience, because my goodness, the amount of times I feel defeated just by existing for what I want to do, let alone, and then when I look back on the things that I've done and how far I've come and all of this that I've created, I'm like, dude, calm down. What you've done is crazy insane compared to what most people do. And then I look at people. I just watched a documentary about the most dangerous women in America, and it was about a documentary on women in prison. And then I look at their life and their daily structure. It's literally every single day they only do a certain thing. It's done. That's it. There's no, there's more, but there's no more than what is. And I know looking at it going, oh my goodness, I'm not in there. Like, nobody puts cuffs on me when I walk out my door, when I want to go somewhere. Nobody, and I get why. I get all of that, but it just puts it into perspective that the decisions I make leads to consequences, right? That I'm either controlled by someone else or I am in charge of my own life. And I want to be in charge of my own life. I want to be on my own terms. I want to be empowered by my own self. So this is what I want to teach you through Project Human. This is what I want you to understand about yourself. This is what I want you to see and recognize, that it's important to be empowered. It's important to be transparent, to communicate, to include not just the people you like and fit your profile and your demographic, but to include all humans, okay? All humans that exist into our life. And I don't mean into my 40 inches, because I can't handle that. That's 8 billion human beings on this planet, almost 9 into my life. No way, Jose. However, I can include the thought of how can I impact potentially in my existence with the smallest of actions on a daily. How can I maybe make a change on that grand scheme of scales? And so I get that opportunity. And how do I do it safely? And how do I do it with trust? And how do I do it with dignity? And so these are all parts of requirements in my life that we have, and we teach you that through Project Human. So go check it out. Go sign up, support. Our donation link is coming up soon, so that will be available to donate really soon. So if you're looking to donate, I promise you that'll be up probably by the time you are listening to this, or if not, it's almost done. We're getting some banking dots and T's and all that other good stuff in the back end to do, because again, we have a big mission. That big mission is going to require big money, and that big money is going to be needed to be raised and need to be put together, need to be found, and we know that there is, and that big money is going to help community. And so we understand the concept and what we need to do. So take a look at us, take a look at that, find us. Also, speaking of us, go to our YouTube channel so you can not only listen, but watch these episodes and see who we are and what we do, and listen to the latest episodes that we have. Update yourself on our podcast. All of that is on there. You can get caught up. You can get seen. And if you're like, hey, I want to subscribe, then hit that subscribe channel and subscribe to it. So there's that. Please do so, because we'd really, 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 really appreciate it. So before I get into my next topic that I want to talk about, which was, and it's not going to be a long one, it's Veterans Day, and why that is an important one that as I move forward, I will be very much more conscious of and being vocal about. I have not been vocal in certain things that I have been in my private or everyday life vocal about, but not necessarily like this, because I haven't been able to put together the words to do what I need to say. One of the things I'm learning is that I don't want to just speak, right? I don't want to just speak words and say words that are they're just words. They're not just words. Words are so powerful. Words have so much impact. And the thing that I'm learning these last couple of weeks specifically is we want to twist the words in our own emotion, our own feeling to fit into where we are, versus understanding that the words aren't an emotion. Words are words, just words. And those words, just words, those words, when put it together into a sequence, create a powerful intention, right? And if you're speaking in terms of, I can't, I'm not capable, I should or I shouldn't, instead of it is done, it is as is, it is done, like let's move, I am, or in the more powerful tense, then you are taking away your own energy, because what you're doing is feeding your own brain going, I can't do this. And instantly that one goes, oh, instead of it's done. I don't know how, don't care how, don't understand and maybe even think about what's required and what resources are going to be needed or what I need to do. Don't care. You know why? Because it's done. It is done. The action, the thought that I have, that for the passion, for what I want, is done. Now make sure it's a good one and not a bad one. You don't want it to do bad consequences, right? You don't want to go to jail. You don't want to go hurt people. You don't want to hurt yourself. You don't want to do all those things. So be mindful that your words, when put into a sequence, when put into a string, they create an effect for you, and they can bind you to yourself, and they can bind you to an idea. They can bind you to someone else, to an ideology. They can bind you to whatever. And if you're going to be bound to something, ensure that you're binding yourself to something powerful, something inspiring, something motivating, something good, positive, influential, structural thing that gives you peace versus anxiety. And the thing that I'm learning, and it just hit me, is that I have spent my whole life saying I don't want to live a mediocre life. And my goodness, have I never lived a mediocre life? Are you kidding me? I survived a fucking war. I came across the ocean. I made it through. Like, that's not mediocre life. That's insane life. And the part that I really wanted to not live was a mundane life. But I didn't understand the peace of becoming mundane. And there's a positivity to it. And then there's a sense of stability in it. And there's a sense of safety in that. And I've learned how to live a mundane life a bit versus a mediocre life. And I am learning how to infuse it all together, because when I think about, again, the words, we're so confused by what they mean based on how we feel and where we want to go and what we want to do versus what they actually are. And me learning to redefine my own narrative. And I had to redefine it through words, literally going back in and what does this mean? And which one of these definitions applies in what situation right now? And where exactly am I in? Why is it more relevant that it's this and not this? Not that I have to combine it. So there's like a whole process that goes when I'm going through a feeling or not understanding, and I'm in my tantrum state, as I like to call it. And I just need to get words out, but I can't. And so I will find anything that will justify where I'm at in my state of existence. And that's not what is required. That's not what is needed. That's what's wanted, whether that's good or bad, but that's what's wanted. And so understanding yourself, knowing that, allows you to create processes and create pathways that when you know you're in that situation again, you can go, you know what? I don't need to throw that big tantrum this way. I can do this and I can do this and I can do this and I can say this. I don't understand if this is what I mean by this. It may be the wrong choice of words and the wrong string compilation of them, so I may need to reword them later. But knowing that and being able to come back to yourself, reflect upon yourself and say, I was wrong. I needed to reflect on this. I needed to reshift it. I was wrong in the way I framed my statement, not wrong in what I was feeling, and not wrong in where I was at, but the way I framed my statement, the way I came about, and here's where I was at, and here's what I'm doing. And the reason I say that is because I've had a few instances where I've just had this week, my own self included, gotten hit with that's not what you meant. And I'm like, oh my goodness, I'm so sorry. Because I used the wrong choice word. And same thing with, our coaching sessions. I see a lot of miscommunication come back into that just because when we're in a state of existence, we don't know how to process something. We don't know how to say something. So we'll use our words, and we'll say these words that we believe in our head is just right because they justify how we feel in our heart. In reality, though, that's not what we're really, really meaning. It's a creation of our own imagination. And again, not to invalidate any of our feelings and where we're at, but looking back and seeing our own responsibility in it and our own actions in it, becoming accountable for that, gives you the opportunity to really solidify relationships so that when you do get into a tiff and you do have a tantrum, your tantrum is a lot more acceptable, okay? Your tantrum is a lot more acceptable. And then they'll just let you have a tantrum. And then what they'll do is come back in and be like, listen, you said a few things, Adela. Now, I know you didn't mean them, but the way you said them and what you said was just absolutely out of line. So what we're going to have to do is we're going to rephrase that, right? We're going to rephrase this because that's not what you meant, correct? Oh my God, that's not what I meant at all. No, I'm so sorry. I was right here and I know where you were. But let's fix that and let's not make that happen again because it hurts. And I'm not obligated, nor am I responsible to be here in this position to be that just because you get into the feeling. And so learning that, true stories, learning that through people and humans who have had enough self-awareness to have conversations with me on that level and teaching me to have conversations with myself on that level. And now I teach others. So it's never an attack on or an invalidation of your feeling. It is a process of it. It is a process, and it is an accountability of it. It is a responsibility of it. Because what we're doing is asking human beings to be responsible for our lives. We're asking them to go to war on an emotional and spiritual level right now, not on the physical, which we'll talk about in a minute, but on an emotional and spiritual level right now because we're in need of someone to validate that. That's it. So let's not do that. And if we do, let's correct our mistakes and be like, you know what? We're better for it. We're better for it. I wanted to, again, going back to the beginning, all the way back to the beginning, rewind. I don't even think that was a rewind voice. Going back to the beginning. Veterans Day was yesterday. So again, happy Veterans Day. Veterans Day to me Now that I know more about it, because I didn't understand fully of why and where it came about and what it means, I'm going to show you where you can find it, where you can educate yourself, where you should educate yourself. And again, if you're like, no, we're lying, this is not it, okay, that's cool. Like, go down, that's cool. Do your thing. I really want to pay honor and respect to the human beings who have actually sacrificed their life for me to ensure that I am here in the United States and having a conversation with you. I am here to be able to create my dreams, to build that. Like, I am the American dream. I'm absolutely the American dream from where I've come, and any immigrant who's come to this United States and build up their life, we are the American dream. Now, the American dream may not be available to our Americans who live here because they're used to a certain way of living, but where we come from and where we're at, we're used to that other way of living. And so when we're here, it is a whole fresh breath of air. It doesn't mean we don't have our struggles, but my goodness, does it mean we have opportunity? Does it mean we have the potential? And does it mean that there is the lifeline for us to be free, or save our families, and thrive here? Like, that's what America provides. So if it wasn't for our veterans, if it wasn't for human beings deciding to give up their life, go on the front line for complete and utter strangers, for their freedoms to have the right to speak, the right to exist, the right to create, the right to carry, the right to defend, right? Then we would not have those rights. Okay? So it's really important. And I want to emphasize that. So let's go into that. I want you guys to take a moment for me, if you have not. So for next Veterans Day, when we do a campaign, and we're asking, calling upon it, because I do want to be a part of that. I want to grow more in the space of giving thanks and really praising the humans and being grateful for the humans who absolutely give up their limbs, their lives for us to exist and have these conversations, right? So go to the Department of Veterans Affairs.gov, department.va.gov, and you will find veterans information right here. So what's really cool is that I didn't know this, and I should have known this because I should have learned in history, but I don't know if I did or not, or maybe I just didn't pay attention enough in class, or I was just foreign and it wasn't part of my want, which is something that I'm advocating for. We should all want to learn. Veterans Day, it's right here, so you guys can read along and you guys can go on there, but I'm just going to read this, what it says right here, how it came about. World War I, known as the time of the Great War, officially ended with the Treaty of Versailles, was signed on June 28th, 1919, right? However, the actual ceasefire stopped 7 months when an armistice or a temporary cessation of hostilities between the Allied nations and Germany went into effect on the 11th hour of the 11th day on the 11th month. So that is why it is Veterans Day, November 11th, the 11th hour, and it was the end of all wars. And so the war to end all wars. And did we end all wars? No, we didn't. Obviously, we're still continuing to fight 1,001 of them. But the idea that war to end all wars was something I didn't see that as that way, and why it made me go, wow, Adela, you have not taken it as seriously as you should have been as open about it, because you talk about where you come from. You have this idea about honoring those who did do what they did for you, and yet you're not really giving that same attention here. So I want to be on that. I want to do that. And it doesn't matter, when you start, as you can see, it just matters that you start. So this is really cool. And I wanted to read this to you, which by President Wilson in 1919, the speech that he did, which was really something I was like, yeah, I love listening to history. I love I love watching documentaries. I love studying and understanding why we behave the way we behave, why we think the way we think. I love seeing how words and speech is going to influence and change the way we do things. I love seeing how one human being's idea, and thought can literally shift the whole cosmic experience of human life. And we've seen that on a good scale, and we've seen that on a bad scale in many occasions through our history. And one of the things that I've missed in our occasions of history is these great speeches about honor and about prosperity and about love and about patriotism and about compassion and sympathy and just opportunity. And this is a really cool one because President Wilson proclaimed November 11th as the first commemorations of Armistice Day with the following words. And please let me know which words I'm pronouncing wrong too, because I do speak a second language and we'll just use that as my excuse. To us in America, the reflections of Armistice Day will be filled with solemn pride in the heroism of those who died in the country's service and with gratitude for the victory, both because of the thing from which it has freed us and because of the opportunity it has given America to show her sympathy with peace, justice, and the Council of the Nations. Now, did we achieve all of those peace nations in the Council? No, not all of them, right? However, we have literally... the United States of America, have literally protected our freedoms and our opportunity to be able to actually have that. It's never too late. And I think the reminder of us of what happened in our history and going back in and understanding why something was started, how we've come to where we're at now, is really important. And what's other cool is that under if we were to actually look at this from the perspective of what others have given up for us to do what we're doing instead of what we don't have right now or what others don't have at the moment, we can see that those who gave up for us didn't have anything to begin with for the most part. All they had was their good conscience, their human soul, and their want to protect human life because they understood that the need for that was the most important, that without the existence of a human and the freedom for a human to do what it needs to do, we would never be in a position where we're at now. So I think it's important, whether, again, you agree with me or not, whether you agree with our government or anything, you have to understand, you have to respect the human beings that have actually sacrificed for us to be here. You don't have to like half of anything, but you do have to respect and be, you do. That part I'm not going to let you go away with. You do have to respect those humans who have suffered, who have given, who have literally, I think of it as their sacrifice, what is her name in the Marvel movie? The Black Widow, right? She sacrificed herself for the Yellowstone to save the world, and there's no coming back from that. Like, she's the one that doesn't come back. Now, please don't think I'm like a huge Marvel movie fan or know anything about that much. I don't know half the stuff that I pull out of my butt, but I do know what I'm talking about. So, but it's like that to me. It's making a decision that you yourself, the worth of yourself was for this. Your moment for this life was to be able to be here so that others could carry on. I don't know I don't have the capacity. My sister does. She's in the military, and I'm so grateful for it. Her husband, absolutely. Friends of mine, they're in the military, and my goodness, I don't have that in me. And that part is like, I would not volunteer to go fight in that. Now, if it came to my door, yes. If it came to I had to fight, no, there's a difference. But to just volunteer, just to go off, just to save someone like me in a foreign country and give me the opportunity to come here and have a conversation and do this. The amount of humans who have died for me to do that is countless. I will never know their name. I will never know their story. I will never know their family. I will never know anything on that. But what I will know is the sacrifice that they did was so that I could be here and I could be grateful and I could fight for this portion of it. And so, yes, so happy Veterans Day. And I don't know how happy we are about the, fighting all the time. But here's what I will say. Thank you. Thank you for your service. Thank you for saving me. Thank you for going into places that no one else would be and allowing children like myself to grow into humans who come here and who are wanting to make a change, who want to live a better life, and who want to impact in a way that is meaningful and that does you honor and justice and that creates pathways for us to show our own patriotism, not only to our country, but to ourselves and to who we are as a human existence. So anyway, that is my spiel for the day. I appreciate you. I thank you. Go follow, go like, go listen. Thank you again. Go download. I'm getting a little stuffy now because I'm an emotional creature. That's what we are. But again, thank you from the bottom of my heart for listening, supporting. Go subscribe, go hit that like button, and go follow. Go do all the good things that, is required for us to continue to grow. And then most importantly, please go check out the website and get on with our Project Human team, because we need your help. Okay, how about this? Adela needs your help. I need your help. This is me really coming down on my knees. I need your help. Go sign up. Let's win. I want to unite our Jacksonville community. I want to create something of epic proportions that will absolutely inspire not only just our community, but the world. I know, again, Adela is a black hole. We haven't really discovered the first one. I've landed on Earth, and I don't know what the hell we're doing, but I know this. I know it with every fiber of my being. So I'm asking you, I'm encouraging you, and I am persuading you to join our family. I appreciate you. And for those of you who are not watching on our YouTube channel, thank you for listening. For those of you who have come on and watched our videos and shown your love and support, thank you for all the comments, and thank you for the shares. Thank you for the likes. And that's that. Until next time, my friends.